Hey everyone, I am here with the 31 Days of Tarot. I am doing the last 10 questions, days 22 to 31. This was started by Ethany. Thank you so much to her for doing this. I've had a lot of fun watching other people's 31 Days of Tarot answers and following it on her Facebook group as well. So let's get started with my answers. So question 22 was, is there any place you would love to read tarot? I would love to read tarot at like Glastonbury or something. I would love to go to England. I would love to go and tour, the whole Glastonbury area. Maybe Glastonbury Festival would be amazing. Go and do that, enjoy all the music, and then, read cards for people. I think that would be just amazing, and you probably meet so many amazing people and be in a beautiful, amazing environment. It would be really, really cool. So that's on the wish list. Number 23. What is your most sassy deck and what is your most gentle deck? Okay, so my most sassy deck, it's not even really a tarot deck. It is the Rebel deck. Definitely sassy. Whenever I put this online, people love it. It says things like, time to let go, move the fuck on. It's not afraid to serve. Stop talking, it says on one side. Shut your mouth and listen. Says fucking apologize. Seriously, just do it. So not an actual tarot deck for sure. This is more like a kick you in the ass kind of deck. Get some fucking sleep. You're being an ass because you're fucking tired. Face to pillow now. So it is kind of like a little kick in the bum. It is definitely my most sassy deck. She has another deck out. I think it's for couples. Very similar, very same kind of things. This is not the box. I'm just using this box to put it in. I think my most gentle deck has to be the Animal Wisdom Tarot. I love this deck so much. It's got animals on each of the cards, obviously, and it's just like a really gentle healing deck. People love it. Look at that adorable penguin. But it reads really well, but it's gentle. I love like the rainbows, the soft colors. Look at that beautiful lion on the strength card. It's just like a fun, even the tower isn't very scary. We have a beautiful magical dragon. We've got some birdies here. It's just like a really gentle, lovely deck, but it's not like, how some decks can be like so soft they don't even really tell you the truth? That's not like this one. It's like a really nice grandma who is telling you things, but what you need to hear, but in a gentle way where you'll take the information and you won't be insulted and walk away and be like, oh my god, that person's such a bitch. You'll actually take it in and learn from it. I'm trying to put the cards back in here. Bit of a challenge with these kind of boxes sometimes, that's for sure. Okay, what's the next question? Next question is, what card is the most misunderstood and why, in your opinion? I think that Judgment is a card that often gets misunderstood, especially by people who maybe don't know a lot about tarot or haven't been reading for a while. People think it means judging, and it actually doesn't really mean that at all. It's about the call. It's about when you're being called to do something. So I think the only way it's really judgment is it refers to the final judgment in Christian sort of mythology teaching. I don't want to, you know what I mean, in Christian tradition, I should say, where you're being asked to account for what it is that you're doing. And it often shows like an angel with a trumpet and people rising up out of the graves. It's saying that the universe is calling you to do something and you know what you need to do, but you need to answer that call. So I think the word can be one that throws people off, and that's why I think it's often a misunderstood card. Number 25, tarot self-care rituals. I guess, I do pull a card for myself every morning, but it's usually from an oracle deck as my daily draw rather than a tarot deck. Like this year I'm using the Animal Spirit Oracle by Colette Baron Reid, and that to me is very much a self-care ritual that I do. I also read once a month for myself on the full moon. I'll do like a tarot spread just showing kind of what the energies are for the rest of the month. And I think that can count as a self-care ritual. It's like a little check-in to say like, hey, what's going on? What can I anticipate for the month? What kind of energies can I look forward to? Number 26, what deck do you wish you could jive with but just don't? Like, which deck do you wish you could kind of connect with but you're just not feeling connected to? I wish I could connect with the Byzantine Tarot. I'll pick it up here. This is the box here. I love Byzantine art. It looks super sumptuous and everything. I'm just not feeling connected to it, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'll connect with it later, but for now, I'll put that on the floor. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do with it. Number 27. How do you pick tarot decks for readings? I usually have a tarot deck each month that I'm working with. So when I read for other people or read for myself, I'll usually use that deck unless my intuition calls me to use another for that person. So it's like most of the time I'm reading with that deck, but if I'm like, nah, this doesn't feel right, I'll pick another deck that does. So there isn't really any hard and fast rule as to how I pick those decks. Pardon me. Best go-to tarot book and why? I really like 78 Degrees of Wisdom, and I also like Holistic Tarot. Holistic Tarot is a giant book, but it is very thorough, and I do like going to it to look something up. It's not a book you read front to back necessarily, but it is a really great reference book, so I would name that one. Number 29, tarot deck modification. What are your thoughts on this? I'm totally for tarot deck modification. If people want to, trim the edges, I love when people color the edges. I've seen people write on things. Whatever you need to do to personalize your deck, make it more meaningful to you, so it works better for you, hey, totally go for it. I'm not as brave, I have to say, although I do kind of want to trim the Druidcraft Tarot and the Llewellyn deck. I think especially with the Llewellyn deck, I'm just going to open it here. It's one of the older style boxes, so it falls apart a little bit. There we go. I just kind of want to cut these borders off. I think that the pictures would just stand out more because they are very soft watercolors. They tend to get a bit washed out a bit with this particular border, in my opinion. So I have actually thought about trimming it, and part of me is nervous too, but then I'm kind of like, why? It's a mass market deck. If you don't like it, just go get another, But I guess it's almost like I don't trust myself, but you're not going to learn how to do it unless you actually go out and do something, right? But whatever. I'm just a little nervous about the whole thing. But I totally admire when other people do. I think it's awesome when other people do. I've seen so many people do some really cool things with the decks that they have. Question 30. Do you do predictive readings? Why or why not? Yes, I do predictive readings. To me, tarot, I guess I'm a little more old-fashioned. To me, a tarot is a predictive tool. I have nothing against people who are like, hey, I don't do predictions, and I'm only just doing this as a psychological thing. That's totally cool. That's totally a tool that it could be used for. But I do look at where the energy is going. Now, I don't believe that things are fated and, carved in stone, so to speak. But I do think that it's like a map that shows you hey, if you keep walking down the street, this is where it's going. This is where it's going to go. And you have free will. You can choose how you react to things. You can choose to go in a different direction. But it's saying this is where the energy is flowing. So yes, I do predictive readings. And number 31, what question do you get asked the most for, or what question do you ask the most for yourself, or what question do you get asked the most from others when you do tarot readings? I think most people are just kind of looking for what's ahead. I don't think there's any particular question. I mean, people have questions about money, love, career. I would say those are the top 3 things that I get asked about. But in general, people are just asking what is going on? What is happening for me, and what can I do about it? What can I do to change things? And that's probably the biggest question overall. And I know that's quite vague, but that's generally what people are looking for. People are looking for what is happening, what is going to happen, and how can I make the best choices for myself moving forward? How can I deal with things? How can I deal with this issue? What can I do to change it? that's what people, generally are asking about. And whether that's about love or money or health or anything like that, that's generally what people are looking for. So these 31 days of tarot have been very fun. I'm always excited when it comes around. I think it's a really great exercise. It really gets you thinking, which I really do appreciate. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for all your comments and everything. I really appreciate it. And as always, peace, love.